I've got exciting news. We've got sticker merch. Mouthful with Shanti brings you captivating conversations that cut through the bullshit while laughing about it. We elevate marginalized voices. We shoot the shit. We have a good time. Support this very free podcast and its production costs by donating to my Venmo at Shanti Charan, ShantiCharan. DM me your address after you Venmo. I will mail you one of our new stickers. Thank you again for your support. So I like to start off with an icebreaker question.
Sure.
If you could be anything in a kitchen, aside from food.
Okay.
If you could be something in a kitchen,
Yeah.
that is you, what would you be and why?
A well-placed picture.
A well-placed picture in a kitchen. Okay, and what type of picture?
Like a dope one that you're going to leave up for a long time so I could be there and watch life happening.
Nice.
To me, a kitchen is one of the most exciting places in the house, right?
It is. It's my favorite place.
And I wouldn't want to be something that gets used and thrown away after a while. I wouldn't want to be anything that gets eaten.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to be something that gets to observe from a good point of view. That's why well-placed, you know?
Yeah. And somewhere where you can be appreciated also.
Yeah.
Like my friend has this Whitney Houston clock in her kitchen.
Rad.
And every time I'm in the kitchen, I'm always like, hey, Whitney.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
actually
rad.
such a you answer, actually, because you are observant as a comic. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like
what
you
we
observe
do.
things. So that answer was very you.
Yeah, that's good. I'm
Yeah.
already winning today.
Nice. I wanted to finish with one you were telling me about earlier about how your partner helped you grow.
Oh, yeah, because you were asking why do I think she's the greatest thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if because you've known me for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty rambunctious. I'm contentious. I'm a challenger. I like to fight with people. I like to start trouble. That's what I was known for. I was fucking Butch is always out there talking shit, starting trouble. And I did. I think a lot of it was because I was insecure. And
But that's why you're always good to have on someone's side. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
a good advocate. I
Yeah.
mean, I'd love to. And that's the thing is, I remember watching Henry Rollins in an interview with somebody, and he was like, I need something to butt up against. And I was, and that's the thing is, like, I always need something to butt up against, but now I know that about me.
Yeah.
But that was the thing with my girlfriend was, like, when I first met her, I was a complete fucking animal. I was not a good partner to women. I probably was I was very chauvinistic. I had a lot of really, really skewed views of the world. And I don't know how this woman, because she's gorgeous too. She's a fucking fire hot redhead. I don't know how she was like, yeah, he's fine. He's going to be great one day. And she hung in there, and she didn't. She bounced for a while.
Yeah.
She was like, dude, you need to get over your ex. First of all, I need to go on and do what I need to do. Because she was also we were both out of relationships. She was already over hers, but I was pretending I wasn't, but I was really, really heartbroken. I lost a house. I lost a lot of things. The person I was with probably deservedly took everything from me. And left me with the clothes on my back. Literally left me with the clothes on my back. And I met her a few months later. And I pretended that I was long past. And she figured it out, was like, I'm fucking out of here, dude. And she's like, you need to fix yourself. But part of her, something made her miss me.
Yeah.
And I remember the day that she came back because at this point, I was over my ex. It had been way later. But they still had stuff that belonged to my son, her and her new dude who she cheated on me with. And he I was trying to get it back. I was trying to get any of my stuff back. And he was like, you want it? You come. I'm here right now, motherfucker. Come fucking get it. And I hopped in my car, and I was doing 90 down the 880 to get to their house, which used to be my house.
Yeah.
And I was going to get my shit back. And I was going to go to jail. I remember I was getting ready to call my dad. I pulled my phone out to call my dad to be like, hey, I'm going to go to jail today, but I'm going to get Bobby's stuff back because they had my kid's stuff.
Yeah.
And I get a text as I'm getting off the turn off. And it's like, are you nearby your house? I'd love to see you. I don't want to have sex or anything, but I'd love to see you, you know? And I, you know, one of the reasons I stopped talking to her too and I treated her like garbage was because I was falling in love with her and I didn't want to like have that with someone else again. You know, I was just getting over a relationship. And so, but I really was like feeling it. So I was like, I'm 10 minutes away. And I got off that exit and I went over the overpass and I got back on the freeway and I booked it like 110. And if you guys don't know, Oakland has no cops. So no one's.
And
no
you
one's,
have a speeding issue, all right? Both ways you're speeding.
no one. Yeah, this is what we're going to talk about
Like,
later, too.
You need to relax,
yeah.
all right?
So, like, I book it back to where she's at. She's at a park by my house. We laid in the park all day and talked, and she said, I just want to be friends. And then I said, that's fine. And then we hung out the rest of that day, and then she said, you want to meet up later tonight? I have the kids with me. And I said, yeah, I have my kid, and I'm going to get my nephew later. Good thing I didn't go to jail that day. And when I met, we all hung out. We let the kids go in, and me and her sat out on a curb in front of this arcade. And I said, you got to do what you got to do. And you want to go do whatever you want to go do, you go do that. I know where my heart is. I'm in love with you, and I want to be with you the rest of my life. So if you need to go sow some oats, if you need to go out, and if it's going to take you 30 years, make it 30 years. If it's going to take you a month, 2 months, I'll be here. You know, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be here. And she was like, no, I don't need to. I don't need to do that. And then after that, it was sewn up. We went through some crazy shit. But she showed me. That was the thing, is that she was like, dude, you're a good person. You know, and I wanted to change at that point because I didn't want to feel suicidal anymore. I didn't want to feel like hate towards myself. I wanted to heal. And I had ended up with a mindfulness practitioner for a therapist on accident. Thank you, Obamacare. And at the same time, I had picked up a book of, like, the Book of Buddha and was reading through it, you know, and I was like, man, this shit makes sense to me, dude. And I was taking a dump, and it was with the Bible. It was next
Those
to
are the most spiritual times.
Yeah, and I was like going through it, man, and I was like, dude. And I got with this mindfulness practitioner, and I started practicing that. Same time, my girlfriend's going through some of her own trauma. But when she was younger, she was a Buddhist and very into mindfulness and listening to all these different gurus and stuff. So she was like, get this book, get that book, get this book. You know, and along with all of that, like, man, like, you know, and her just loving me and being patient with me, you know, when people like know who I was and know who I am now, you know, that's where it came from.
And yeah, I one thing I did know who you were and like who you are now, and there has been such a shift that when you say mindfulness, it makes so much sense as to where that shift came from, and I'm really happy that you're feeling that.
Love is the answer. It doesn't matter though. That's the thing, man. Is the
your
message.
partner straight up came in like a savior too with
Sure.
that text. You know, you really avoided your life possibly turning into, you know, lost time if you did end up in jail.
Well, I believe that fate belongs to you. Like, it's there, but it's yours to grab, and you have a path. I believe that God, Allah, it's the universe. The universe is what we belong to. It's what we all are. You are me, I am you. I believe all that stuff, right? But I think that if you believe in God, because it's the easiest term to use, He gives you a path. When he brings you into this world, He gives you a path, and He says, there you can follow it, and it's going to be great for you. But it's going to be hard, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be a long road. But when you get what you want, it'll be yours to have. You could do that. But I also give you free will because you're a human being. So if you want to go be a guy who works in a shoe store, or be a hoodlum, or be a murderer, then go be that.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think that's the thing, is that for me, I'm just following my path at this point. You know, like, my path, I used to think was about money and fame and doing. This is why comedy is so hard for me right now. I love being a comic, but it's a ego feeder. You need to have an ego to do this.
Yeah.
And at first, when I first got into mindfulness, I was like, I got to kill this ego, man. I got to get rid of comedy. I got to do all these things. But I realized it's a tool that you use. It's just a tool, and you can bring it out and you can put it back. And so I'm trying to learn how to do that responsibly. But as a comic, you're constantly pulling out your ego.
And not just that, there's a lot of toxicity in different forms in comedy.
God.
And when you're trying to live this balanced type of tranquil, at peace way, I have found comedy challenges me in ways that push me to grow, but
Right.
also I fail sometimes because I'm like, "Ah," and I don't want to turn into that. But ego, everybody's ego, and it's just like nobody matters.
Well, it's crazy. My day in the morning, I get up, and sometimes I'm not religious to it, but sometimes I get up and I meditate. And I have this huge epitaph of Buddha on my wall, and I look at it and I try to
Gohonzon,
what's that?
a Gohonzon, or like there's some Buddhist groups when they chant, they face like a
Yes. I can't remember. It's like a table or a shrine.
Yeah, shrine.
I just
type
have
thing.
it's just
Yeah.
a quilt because I'm still learning a lot right now.
Anything can be in your mind.
And I don't have any real subscription to any real
Yeah.
like solid like Buddhist belief. I just but I look at Buddha and it reminds me of like what I'm trying to learn about myself, what I'm trying to learn about the world, and my own belief that we're all the same thing, like we're all the same, we're all of the same matter, and nothing matters, really, like at the end of the day, because part of the Eightfold Path is detachment from this world and learning how to detach, but also suffering, and so the thing is to me is like trying to decipher all of that.
Yeah.
And then I get up and I do that and I listen to like some gurus and maybe read some Ram Dass, and then I log on to Instagram and I see someone fucking got on a TV show and I'm like, motherfucker, that guy's only been in fucking comedy for like 4 fucking years. What the fuck, dude? I've been working for 16 years in fucking comedy. This fucking guy just slides in because he's good looking, and it's like.
Yeah.
And then, and like, but what I've learned now is to stop and laugh at that and be like, dude.
What's the bigger thing in life that I'm, thinking about where this is just a piece of that or whatever?
Yeah,
I feel you with that.
That's the thing, man. And so, like, to me right now, like, dude, I went through a really hard time that I'm just kind of coming out of where I was like, I don't think I want to do comedy anymore.
Yeah,
because it's not serving what I believe in now. It's not.
My idea of my rich life. And that's not money oriented. Your rich life. What is the richness that comes out of your life? And comedy, does it fulfill
You
that?
know what comedy used to give me? Better than nutting. That's what comedy used to give me. Killing was better than nutting. And don't get me wrong, I still love killing. I love killing like I love collecting a dope model car that I could put in my curio.
But now you nutting like crazy.
But now I'm nutting everywhere because I love the forest and I love love and I love like.
Man, stay out of the forest.
I
Butch.
love
You
human
nutting everywhere.
beings, but I'm not nutting like I'm not like oh trees but in my mind like going and seeing a park.
Yeah.
Like we went to the giant.
I love bird watching now.
See?
Looking at like it's so blue.
Yeah.
Whoa, that one has red on it.
So when you find joy in that and the volumes all get turned up on that, the one thing that you have the volume up all the time isn't as loud as it used to be. Totally. And so how do you embrace that still the way you used to? Because the only way that you could move forward in a business like comedy is to be passionate about it and to be on the hunt and to ferociously fight for what you have. And I've learned that my purpose still matters. And so to me now, it's not a matter of like, this is your destiny or anything, but it is like, I'm still feeling the powers to push me in that direction. I'm a comic. That's the label that the universe put on the back of my neck when I came into this world.
Yeah.
And that's the path that I'm going to follow.
Yeah.
Whether I like it or not, that is the path that I'm on. And so that's where I'm at. I love comedy. Don't get me wrong. I love comedy. It's my passion right now.
It's just understanding how it waters you and in what ways do you need to be watered.
And that's the thing, man, is I think a lot of us are toxic because we're like, oh, you need to throw everything into this.
It's like, that's not what life is. You're going to burn out real quick.
Go for a hike. Go love somebody. Go be part of something else. Have a hobby.
You know, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. At work with the students I have. So for those of you that are listening, I work as an adjunct within incarceration, and some of the students I have, I feel like their perspective on life is like, man, I wish more people. Not that I'm saying comics need to spend some time in jail so they can understand what the fuck
I
life
think they
is
really
about.
should, though. I did. I did.
Yeah.
It changed my perspective.
Yeah, and so I feel like that could really help people. Okay, so you can share to whatever extent you want to, but what did you go to jail for?
Oh, I'm a traffic violator. I'm such a habitual. Let me just tell you
Wait,
this.
car traffic violating?
So the first time I got a ticket and I didn't pay it, I got a warrant in the mail. And I got pulled over and I was like, I'm going to jail. And they gave me another ticket to go to court for that warrant. And so I didn't show up for that. And when I got pulled over again, they gave me another ticket. And I started to think, oh, you don't go to jail. You just don't have to do anything. They just keep giving you tickets.
Yeah.
And at some point I got pulled over the first time. This is probably like 6 or 7 driving on a suspendeds later.
Oh my God.
He goes, you have $75,000 in traffic warrants. And I almost died. And I remember the first time going to jail. I remember the first time watching those gates lock behind you when they pull down into the fucking jailhouse. And I remember the cuffs. I remember all that. I remember being scared because 75,000 sounds like a lot. And everybody in jail starts to scare you because they want you to feel what they're feeling. So they're like, man, that's 90 days for every charge, bro. You're fucked, dude. You're going to be here for like 2 years.
Yeah.
No, I got out the next day.
Wait, you were only in jail for a day?
3 days is how they break it down. So when you go to court back then, it would be like, okay, you got a day for time served. That's the day they brought you in. The day you went to court, and then you get out at 1 in the morning.
Okay.
And so it's 3 days. It counts as
1 in the
3
morning.
days.
How do you get home? What do they just let your ass out?
And that's the other thing, man, is when they go, you either get a ride or you wait till the buses come in the morning to take you out of here. But if we catch you walking down the road out of Elmwood, you get remanded back for 30 days. And so I hunkered down until my dad picked me up.
Yeah.
And I remember my dad pulling in and looking and goes, I used to work here. Never thought I'd pick up my kid here. And like, man, all that shame and shit happened, but then I became a repeat offender after a while.
What do you mean repeat offender for what? Car traffic?
Constantly just getting pulled over, not paying a fine.
What the fuck, Butch?
Dude, my favorite phrase in the movie at the time was Colors, when Frog was like, fuck it, I got more time than money. and so that's how I felt. It was like, I'll just accrue all these tickets and then go to jail for 3 days, accrue and then get my license back.
Yeah.
Get tickets, get it suspended.
Yeah.
And then do it over and over again. And so at some point the DA...
So jail was the solution.
So it was 3 days at a time, 3 days at a time, 3 days at a time.
You're like, man, I really got to fix my problems and go to jail for a little bit.
So one day the DA comes up to me and he goes, you have the most driving on a suspended violations out of anybody in the county of Santa Clara. I have a special writ in your jacket to the judge saying if you do this again, it's a 90-day mandatory sentence. God. And so I went and did it again, and I got 90 days. And then the last offense was the Ninja Star, and I went to jail for that, for a felony weapons possession. And they lost me in the system, so I did like a week and a half, like alone in jail, which an hour by yourself in a jail cell. People think, oh, I could do time by myself. Dude, solitary confinement.
Man, with how much you talk about how it sucks, you kept going back. You're like,
that's when I stopped, though. That's when I was like, I never want to do this again, because because when they lose your information, they don't know if you're a gang member, if you're a murderer, if you're a rapist. So they put you by yourself.
Yeah.
And isolation is the worst feeling.
They do that now with COVID. If they think you have symptoms, they put you in isolation now.
That's the thing, is I remember when COVID happened, because I went to jail long time ago. Like probably almost 20 years ago was the last time I went to jail.
Yeah.
That's how old I am.
So now with COVID, with anybody feeling symptoms, because it's like locked in, they separate them, and it's like,
why?
It really sucks.
People.
They have like 4 days
These
to
are
like show they're not
beings,
symptoms.
Dude.
That's the problem with jail. It's like it's really dehumanizing in ways that I think are unnecessary. But like one of my students told me once, the punishment is already being here. Like, why are they further punishing us with just like how people treat?
That's
like,
the thing is
you
that
know?
it's the worst are correctional officers
Oh, okay, yeah.
because they treat you because you're guilty to them, so they treat you the worst, and they do. Like correctional officers are the worst people on the planet in my mind because they're like there's a few of them that were really nice and were cool. But one time I was in there and I didn't have they take away one of the things that the jail does is fucked. And I don't know if they still do this. But for a minute they were taking away your medication. So if you had asthma medication on you or something, they would take it away, but as soon as you got into jail they'd give you a new one. But someone came in and changed the rules and said the only way you could get new medications is by them contacting your doctor and getting the prescription. So if you have asthma and you take your asthma medicine every 4 hours and it takes them 3-4 days to reach your doctor, you're going almost 4 days without medication. And I remember I was in there for a DUI and I had a felony weapons possession at the same time. They kept me there for like almost a week and they didn't give me medicine for almost 3 days. And I remember, like, because I wasn't going to call my dad. I wasn't going to call my parents and let them know I was in jail. I was going to stick it out. It was going to be like 5 days. It was drunk driving. I was going to get past the weapons possession, get it dropped down. I already knew how the laws worked. But when they told me that they wouldn't give me asthma medicine, and I was like in day 2 and I couldn't breathe, I called my dad and was like, because I wanted them to know where I died and how I died. Because I had a friend who died in Elmwood because he complained of a headache and they wouldn't, and so they put him in solitary because he wouldn't shut up about it. And then he died in solitary because he had a brain aneurysm. We live in a world where we need 30 of people in this class and we're going to teach them all the same thing and they need to do the same thing and they need to think the same way. That person could probably do amazing things with themselves. They could become a stand-up comic who tours with one of those prominent Mexican comedians in the world. I know that because I was one of those people. Because the teachers would go, Roberto, which was my real name, is so talented. He's so amazing. He's so smart. But he just can't get it together. You know, like he just can't. And, you know, we're having a hard time with him. And, you know, and the thing is that whatever it was about me made them, probably the same thing that made my girlfriend sit and go, dude, there's something in you that's amazing, but it's blocked by all this bullshit. But if it wasn't for those people, you know, I wouldn't have seen my potential because they told me, and it was years before I saw my potential. But listening to them back then, going through jail, going through everything, and then becoming a comic and then realizing, oh, they were right.
And at least with comedy, it's not like having a record keeps you from working that job.
Right.
Because a lot of people face that bullshit. Like a lot of people aren't comics when they get out and they're just like, we can't even find a job. So we're going to catch cases selling whatever we sell or
it's
doing
crazy
whatever.
that we call it reformatory system.
Yeah.
When you go, well, then you're reformed. You should have a job.
It's like, well, nobody's hiring me. And so how do I make money to afford this cost of living?
The thing that sucks is that we somehow have a system that divides violent offenders to nonviolent offenders, but it doesn't work in the job world. I think if you're a violent offender, then you should be reporting that. To a certain extent. If you can show that you're not violent anymore, then and you can pass certain levels of certifications, then
why do we need to bring that
then
up?
that doesn't need to come in. And there should be a system, you know, that you could block your record if you could show that you're a good person, so that when they go into the system to look up your record, there's nothing there. You know, more than anything, I'd love to be talking to the people in your class who would be listening to this, or people in other positions. Dude, make your own, man. Make your adversary make the hard times your best teacher.
Yeah.
And make it shape you into a sharp, strong tool to go out there and do things and for your own.
And that kind of ties back to earlier what you were saying about suffering. And I didn't say it then, but Isn't it beautiful how we're getting older when we understand suffering, but that helps us understand the challenge of getting to the beautiful part.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And so that, I guess I'm seeing a similarity between like talking earlier about noticing the suffering and I guess embracing it the way it must so fruits are produced. And
Right.
this, what you're saying, I feel like is aligned with that from earlier with
Well, that's the thing.
turning it into something beautiful.
So also along with the mindfulness, Buddhism, and stuff like that.
And I feel like the guys in jail do think a lot like that. A lot of them are like, I really want to use this, these lessons and these things I'm learning here and this rehabilitation that I'm not on drugs or drinking right now.
Right.
And I really want to get out there and like get my shit right,
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing, man, is like, to me, that's even more of a better opportunity. I'm glad I went to jail.
Which is why I was like earlier, comics, they can recognize some of these things.
There's no part of me that regrets. To be honest with you, I lost my house. I had the girlfriend that did all those things to me. I could go back even before then where I had ADD, teachers against me, found my mom dead on my birthday, all this stuff. There's all kinds of stuff that I could make you feel sorry for me for.
Yeah.
But what I can offer, though, is that I don't regret any of it.
Yeah.
Because I love who I am today. And I love how much I love life. I love how much I can go to a forest now and look at a tree
and nut
and go, man, this is beautiful, man. This is amazing.
I love that within me too, my ability to appreciate simple things that I think I overlooked for so long.
It's the best.
Like a bird with a red thing on its head.
Because that's where you're really rich, you see. It's not your money. That's the thing that I've learned is like, I wanted money because I thought that was going to satisfy me.
Yeah.
But if I have like a little bit of bread and some good, like a good brie.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll take my last $20 and I'll go buy a fucking dope baguette and a little fucking like half loaf of brie, and that'll be my lunch for the whole day. And I know that people will be like, man, you could buy way more Spam or something with that shit and spread it out. But it's like, I don't look for tomorrow what I'm going to do. I look for today what I'm going to do. And that's the thing. And I'll say this to I would say this to the people in your class.
Yeah.
You gotta let go of what's gonna happen and be faithful that you're gonna be okay. Because the one thing I'll always never forget, I think my dad said this, is like, you're alive. And the only thing you gotta worry about is dying.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even matter because when you're dead, you're dead. I can't remember how it was. It was like, don't worry about, you're always gonna be okay. You've always been okay. And the only time you're not going to be okay is when you're dead, and it doesn't matter because you're dead. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. So you've always been okay. Up until now, Shanti's survived every catastrophe in her life.
Yeah.
And so you go, all those bad things happened to me. Or they made you stronger.
Yeah.
And that's
what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Right. And so to me, I'm rich. If you ask me, I'm a rich man, but I'm broke.
It's all your definition of rich.
Dude, I rode an e-scooter from the train here today.
I love that. It looked really fun.
But I don't like.
I'm gonna take a video of you when you leave. What was the best thing that you ate in jail?
Everything. That was
Shut
not
up.
everything that was not given to you by the hacks.
You're like, it was Michelin, bro.
No.
Jail food's
I
good.
will say this. It is. First of all, I think it's that they starve you till you get in. And then when you walk into the barracks, if you got homies and you know what's up, someone's making something bomb in those little fucking hot kettles at the end of the barracks.
Oh, man. I've seen them changing the water out and that to keep those warm.
So what they do is that you keep a Ziploc baggie. Mm-hmm. And this one homie, man, what he did was he took, you get Shasta Cola if you got good behavior for a month back then. If the whole place got a good behavior, you get Shasta Cola.
He marinated it.
He would take all the cola, the leftover, and he'd pour it in a bag.
Yeah.
And he'd keep it, and he'd kind of open, and he'd dissolve it down to a teriyaki. And he'd add soy sauce, and he made a teriyaki out of it.
Wow.
And then he killed a pigeon, and he soaked the pigeon in the teriyaki. And we had it with some rice.
Man.
And it was bomb.
Was it called farm to table?
Yeah, it was like farm to table.
I want to know how he killed that pigeon.
Pigeons.
Was it his friend?
Pigeons are stupid. He probably gave it a little bit of bread, brought it in. Come here, mijo, I'll take care of you. Because you can't say it anymore, the CHINO word. But when we were in prison, you were in jail. I mean, that's what we called them. We'd be like, man, they make good ass like teriyaki. And
They're called others now.
Yeah, they the others. Yeah, the others. Like
Black, white.
The others are crazy because they would go
Northerners, paisas, others.
Others. So the others were crazy because they would go, and this Vietnamese dude would go kill birds and shit.
Yeah.
And they'd bring them back in, you know, or they'd kill the ground owls out in front and bring one of those in. Or every once in a while, if you got a rabbit, I heard that was pretty good. But I didn't get any of that. I just had that one time I had a little bit of pigeon.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is pigeon? And he's like, it's a dove. And I'm like, no, there's no doves here. There's only pigeons. He's like, it's a dove. It's a dove. You know? And I was like, he's a Vietnamese guy, so he didn't speak a lot of English. And I'm like, no, they're pigeons. He's all, no, they're doves. And I'm like, whatever, man. And it was minced in there. It wasn't like a piece. It was minced up. And it had a gamey quality after it went down.
Yeah.
But I was so hungry that I was like, this is so fucking good, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure... Because I asked the guy too. I asked one of the other homeboys that was in there, and how it works too, man. Is for the Mexicans, is they come up to you and they go, "What's up, man? Are you a homeboy or are you a paisa?" I'm just gonna tell this to every Mexican dude that's never been in jail that doesn't want to be in a prison gang.
Yeah.
Always say you're a paisa. Never say you're a homeboy.
They're the non-confrontational ones. And no one's fucking with the paisa. They're just making baskets and shit, trying to hang out.
I got lucky because before I went to jail, I had a homie tell me how it went down. He goes, if you say you're a homeboy, they're like, hey, welcome to the casa, homie. Come on over then, dog.
Yeah.
And you get all the cool shit. But if you ever go to prison, you got to join the big gang.
Oh, that's scary.
And so if you say you're a paisa, you're pretty much not affiliated.
Yeah.
And so even though I didn't speak Spanish, I had to sit on the paisa side. And so I had to watch like Telemundo.
Older dudes, shorter dudes.
Older dudes like weaving shit with their toes.
Making jewelry.
Yeah, making like pens with the names on it.
Were you making necklaces with your fucking toes?
Bro, he had he had it on his toes and he's all like weaving and shit.
You're like, this is what jail is?
Yeah, bro. But I remember one time, dude, I don't even know what this was. I was hella hungry. And it was like the third or fourth time I was in jail. To this day, I don't know what it was. My homie's in the corner with another homie.
Yeah.
And I see him, I'm like, what's up, man? How's it going? We start talking. And he goes, man, you're just in time for the best spread ever. And he had a spread going, dude. Oh!
And what's the spread? I know they said a spread is honestly like a whole bunch of shit.
It's a whole bunch of shit.
What shit?
So like...
there's beef jerky.
It can be anything. It could be beef jerky. It could be bologna. It could be salami.
Chicken sausages.
You got your protein, chicken sausages. So what you do is you take. If I can remember, I never made one.
Jello, mayo, jelly, mayo.
Yeah. I've never made one. But they take the bag with all the chips, and then they put they take the fucking ramen and they crunch that up and they pour that in there, and that's like congealing. I think that's the congealing method.
Yeah.
And then they put like chips.
I think they even make tortillas
meat,
out of
they
ramen.
cut up meat, and then they put that in there, and then sometimes they'll roll it inside the tortilla. But I remember this particular one when we just spooned it out of the bowl. Oh my god, man! I don't know what the fuck it was, dude, but it was the bombest. To this day, it was one of the bombest things I've ever had in my life. I'll never forget that feeling.
What a predicament. You're like, this amazing thing I want to eat again is only in jail.
And I don't know how he made it. I don't know what he used.
Don't go back to jail just to eat it.
No, fuck. No, dude. I'll never go back there. One of the things I'll also say, man, just so people don't sit there and think, these fucking crazy liberal people think there's nobody out there's breaking rules or whatever. I was in jail probably for the fifth or sixth time.
Yeah.
And I'm in holding. And by then I know what's the deal. I know what I got to do. I'm relaxed. I'm in the back. I'm fucking got my head against the wall. I'm just chilling. This guy comes in and the COs slam him in and they slam the door and he's fucking punching the door. You fucking pricks. You fucking pricks. You pieces of shit. And I go, hey, fucking settle down, bro. Fuck's your problem? He goes, these motherfuckers right here, man. These motherfuckers keep bringing me in here and putting me in here. And I was like, nobody put you in here but yourself, bro. You're the biggest problem in your life. So shut the fuck up and quiet down so I can sleep. And then I went back to close my eyes and I was like, I should say that to myself. I'm the problem here.
Shut the fuck up and sleep.
I'm the problem, you know? Yeah, shut the fuck up and go to sleep. And it's like, but that was the realization was like,
Yeah.
dude, my own behavior. You know, the law is going to be the law. Like, to me, fucking cops are lions and tigers. And you can't be mad at lions and tigers. Like lions and tigers are unreasonable and they kill for whatever reason they kill for. And I don't think cops should be killing people. You know, I'm not saying what they're doing out there is okay. I'm not saying police are okay or whatever. But to me, it's an element of the jungle it's an element of the concrete jungle. And so, in order to not get eaten by lions and tigers and bears, you need to not cover yourself in fucking raw meat all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe you could go walk. Maybe there's nothing wrong with walking around with raw meat on you in the jungle.
Yeah.
But a lion doesn't give a fuck about that. You know what I mean?
Moving around the jungle, did you have like a job or a gig or anything in jail? Like, did you work?
Nah, dude. Like, as I was always short timing it.
Okay.
Like,
What does that mean?
Like,
like you weren't there for that
I was gonna
long.
get out.
Okay,
And
got it.
I didn't
got
want
it.
to trustee up because I always felt like they were like bootlickers. I feel bad now because I don't think they are.
I heard something about being a trustee once. One of the stories. So a trustee in jail is kind of like the main guy, like not the main guy,
He
but
does
the
all
guy.
the work.
He
He's got
does
a
the
job.
work. He gets to get out of his cell a little earlier. He cleans things up. I'm the teacher that comes in. He asks me, "Do you need me to pass things out?" Like
Right.
things like that. But so I heard one story from one of the rehabilitation officers that are in charge of the college classes. They get the guys the classes, so they're not correctional officers. They're like a different thing, but I don't know about. But anyways, they shared that one time someone was really pissed at the trustee, so to get his vengeance on the trustee, he took a shit in the urinal
Oh my god!
because the trustee is left with cleaning that.
Right.
And so that's how
dude,
they get their vengeance in there, man.
That's the thing, man. Is like, to me, it's like every time someone becomes a trustee, they turn into a little bit of an asshole to everybody else. Because I had COs sometimes, especially when I was doing the long run, COs were like, "Hey, man, you know, if you want, you could do, you just get the trustee program." I'm like, "Nah,
Yeah.
man." Like even now, I still have that attitude. Like, for the longest time when I got past the punchline,
Yeah.
I didn't go sit in the green room.
Yeah.
Because I was all, fuck that, dude. I'm not going to be that person, dude.
I actually still am like that when I go on Sundays. I just sit
I'm with the people.
with the people.
Yeah, I'm with
Watch.
the people. Now I'm so fat and lazy. If there's nowhere to sit, I'll go sit in the green room. Or if Paco's in there, because I love Paco.
Yeah.
Paco Romaine, shout out. But that's the thing, man, is I'm a people person, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not part of the establishment in any direction. Like, I love being a human being. I love being part of the people. I did on our podcast, History for Foos, with Felipe Esparza. We both read this book together, but it really, man, it changed my frame of thought. It's called The History of Serial Murders from Neanderthals to Now, or from cavemen to now, or something like that. But it basically explains how this guy's theory isn't that his theory is that we're all serial murderers. That we're all murderous people. Like our species killed off Neanderthals. So we're murderous. And his theory is that we're all serial murderers, but it depends on how much love you've gotten, how much comfort you've had, how much you've been given in life.
To push that.
To make you go, you know what? I don't want to kill Betty for fucking stealing my food out of the refrigerator.
Yeah.
You know, because like you have your neocortex, which is all the thinking and love and embracing and stuff that we do, and you have that middle part of the brain that I keep forgetting the name of, a limbic system, which is like I just need to eat warm food, I need comfort, I need shelter, and then you have your lizard brain that goes, I need to fuck and defend myself,
Medulla
and
oblongata.
eat. Yeah, and when we first started out, we just had that lizard brain. Then we started to have a warm cave and food, and then the limbic system came. And then we started to group together and feel some sense of community, and that's when we started having our neocortex started kicking in and making us do stuff. And so that prevents us. You know, if I have a warm cave and warm food, why am I going to go kill Ugg across the street in that cave? Because I'm warm, dude. I don't need his food anymore. And so the more love and nurturing you have, so love is the answer.
Yeah. But I always like to know this because you've shared a lot about yourself and maybe people can also relate. But how can someone, anyone, friends, family, your partner, how can people love you better?
By booking me.
What if they have no booking power?
Find someone. No, I'm just kidding. How could you love me better? By loving yourself.
Yeah.
If you're my friend, like you're my friend, and if you were to call me and go, Butch, I'm hurting real bad and I need help, I would be there for you. But the one thing I would make sure you do is love yourself, because I can't love you if you're not here.
Yeah.
Like I can't be near you, I can't talk to you if you're not here. So just loving yourself. And then also, if you're loving yourself, you're going to be nice to me. You're going to be kind to me. We're going to get along. You're a good vibey person. So love yourself.
You and Jay Rich both answered the same.
Yeah, Rich is, that's because Jay Rich is the real man.
I love both,
He's like the realest person ever. I'm a big...
We love you, Jay Rich.
Yeah, whenever I see Jay Rich doing good, like one time someone sent me something that was from Jay Rich. They didn't know that I knew him. And it was him going, if someone sent you this, that means they love you and you're doing great and to keep it up. And I was like, oh man, that's my homie.
Oh, Jay Rich, we love you.
I love Jay Rich. He's the bomb, bro.
Okay, well, thank you, Butch. I appreciate you sharing yourself. I want you to share all of your social media so people can follow you and your podcast.
Yeah. Oh, just check out History for Fools with me and Felipe Esparza. Oh, check out History for Fools with me and Felipe Esparza. On YouTube or any little place you can find podcasts. And then if you want to know what I'm up to, shows, whatnot, Butch Escobar, at Butch Escobar on IG, and you'll find everything from my TikToks and everything from there.
That's awesome, Butch. I'm so glad that you're here. I think you're one of the oldest people I know in comedy.
Yes,
I
think
you're like
one of my oldest friends.
You're like my original comedy friends, just meeting. Even before I started comedy, I had met you.
Yeah, you're special to me. Like, you hold a special place because we've been in this for so long. And I've watched you struggle in it, and you've watched me struggle in it. And when two people who have that kind of camaraderie, you know, and that time with each other, it's very special to me. Like, it's like, you know, like I know what you've been through.
You're special to me as well.
So I love you, man. You're one of my best friends.
I love you too. I remember when we did a show in Fresno, we were talking about this and just like the length of, and sometimes you go a long time without seeing someone, you know, but it's just like just as fun. And you know me with the loud laugher. I like me.
Yeah,
and you know, we were getting real today, so we didn't. But I'm telling you, when we're in a green room, like we get fucking loud.
I don't know.
They need to tell us to shut the fuck up.
Something I keep telling myself, you need to be funnier on podcasts, but you're always like talking this weird fucking spiritual shit. You should just, dude, go be goofy you. But it's like, you know, I can't help it, man. When you have like you get high before you come into a podcast and you have a deep conversation with a friend.
Yeah, it's nice.
Because I don't like, that's the thing is, I'm not always trying to make you laugh.
And that's what I wanted here.
Yeah.
I wanted us to just, like a comedy, being a comic is one of our parts of us.
Right.
But like, I don't expect that part to be served every time.
Totally.
And I actually kind of appreciate getting to know without needing to feel like we have to be on, you know?
Right. But your viewers are going to be like, this guy doesn't sound like he's slinging jokes. It's like,
right.
Over
Fuck
here,
it.
Fucking, no, I know. I don't give. Come see me, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
I'm
come
funny.
fucking see him.
I'm kind of funny. You don't have to see me. It's
very funny.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing this.
I
appreciate you. Everybody take care of yourselves. Thanks for listening. Follow us on Spotify, on Instagram, all the things. Give us a 5-star rating if you enjoyed it. And thank you so much, and wash your butts.
Hell yeah. Spread love.
All right.